I will not engage with talent from the neighboring country given the circumstance.
Despite filmmaker Karan Johar's fervent appeal, the MNS hasn't budged over its stance to stall the release of the upcoming Ae Dil Hai Mushkil starring Pakistani actor Fawad Khan. The MNS today added to Karan Johar's Friday headache by threatening the owners of multiplexes with violence.
हम हमारे स्टैंड के ऊपर कायम हैं। पाकिस्तानी कलाकारों के विरोध में आंदोलन जारी है और अगर पाकिस्तानी कलाकार को फिल्म रिलीज निकाल के अगर फिल्म रिलीज होती है तो हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
Despite filmmaker Karan Johar's apology, MNS is still adamant on their stand that they will not allow Pakistani starred films to get released in Mumbai. Today, MNS also threatened the multiplex owners that if they show these films, then MNS will vandalize their theatres.
The MNS today held a meeting with party chief Raj Thackeray and decided to further harden its stand.
He had a lot of choice to not take this person in the first place when so many terrorist attacks were happening in our country. All these choices were available which he has not taken up.
That's all I can say. With so much of humility, if still I cannot convince my brothers and sisters from where we are coming, then I'm only feeling helpless. I'm only feeling speechless.
Meanwhile, veteran filmmaker Shyam Benegal claimed that the government must protect films and that Karan Johar needn't have made an emotional appeal.
I feel very sad that he had to make a statement like that, because how can anybody doubt his patriotism or his love for his country? Does it need to be reiterated every day of his life or my life?
Is this nationalism or is this vandalism? Is this Desh Bhakti or is this outright Gundagardi? Joining us on the newsroom showdown tonight, Rajendra Shirodkar is a spokesperson for the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena. Amir Raza Hussain is a well-known theatre personality. I want to go across to Rajendra Shirodkar first because this, to a lot of people, would seem like Gundagardi, Mr. Shirodkar. This is not Desh Bhakti. You are forcing people, browbeating them, bullying them, telling them you will resort to violence if the film is shown. You cannot enforce patriotism through violence.
No, to begin with, your description of my party people as gundas is totally misconceived. We are not resorting to any gundaism tactics or attitude. Now, I want to pose a question here to Mr. Karan Johar as to when the Uri attack took place, or for that matter, the attack took place at the airbase of India. Where were these filmmakers and why did they not come out in open by protesting? And therefore, if Pakistan is an enemy country, if they have violated all norms of decency and etiquettes and international treaties, why should we allow, for that matter, for any Pakistani artist to shoot in India or to have their film released?
Who are you, Mr. Shirodkar, to decide what will be allowed, what will not be allowed? At the time when this film was being shot, India's relations with Pakistan were on the mend. The Prime Minister was in Lahore, meeting Nawaz Sharif. How is any filmmaker supposed to know what may happen 12 months later? And who are you to decide what will be allowed and what will not be allowed in this country?
After that, no, we are responsible citizens of Mumbai and responsible citizens of India. We are equally responsible for the actions and inactions on the part of the government. We are a responsible and matured political party. And so far as your second question is concerned, that at the time when the Honorable Prime Minister was in Lahore, the situation was different. After that, time and again, Pathankot attack, Uri attack, their terrorists entering into Kashmir and holding and ransom the innocent people will not be tolerated at any cost. And we will make it very clear that we will not resort to Gundaism, but at any cost, we will not, as responsible citizens of Mumbai and citizens
Don't
of
call
India,
yourselves responsible
we will not allow any
citizens,
Pakistani
because
artist
if
to
at all
perform in
you are
Mumbai.
irresponsible, what you are doing is not nationalism, this is Gundagardi. You are threatening violence. You are saying you will beat up anybody who shows that film or goes watch it. How is this patriotism? How is this nationalism?
No, when our when our innocent Jawans and our innocent people in Kashmir and the adjoining areas were killed, where were these people? Were they not innocent people? And were they not being targeted by Pakistan and supported by Pakistan? Ample evidence was given and
what do you expect a Karan Johar? One second.
The United Nations.
What do you expect a Karan Johar or a Salman Khan to do if there is a terror attack? Nobody wants a terror attack, but if there's a terror attack that takes place, what would you like Karan Johar to do? He's come out and he said he's very sorry about the terror attacks. He feels very angry as well. What else do you want him to do? Surely, one second. Do you expect him to stand on the LOC and start firing Pakistani terrorists? What would you expect him to do? What did you do? You weren't standing on the LOC or crossing the LOC and trying to kill Pakistani terrorists either?
We did not, and we have not an Indian soldier has crossed the LOC line.
Yeah,
and have never
you are not an Indian soldier, and therefore there's nothing that you did. But you expect Karan Johar to have done more.
I expect Mr. Karan Johar not to cast any of the Pakistani artists in his movies because we have ample talent available in India and Mumbai. So henceforth,
is joining us. One second.
Looking
this is not
at
a question
the relations.
Of talent. This is a question of a decision having been taken at a time when India's relations were on the mend. Now, of course, things are different. Karan Johar has said he will not cast any Pakistani actor. Whether that's the right decision or not can be debated separately. Amir Raza Hussain is now joining us. Mr. Hussain, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You're just seeing the MNS resort to outright gundagardi, saying we will beat up anybody who dares watch A Dil Hai Mushkil. You know, how do you respond? Because they believe that they are right, that this is Desh Bhakti, this is patriotism. Do you think this is vandalism and gundagardi instead of this being Desh Bhakti?
So, no, there's no question of this being Desh Bhakti. This is like a Khap Panchayat. These guys have gone ahead and decided what they want to do. And, you know, there is a party which has one MLA and no members of parliament. And they wait for opportunities when they can come into the public eye. And this has given them an opportunity. So there they are crying themselves hoarse. They are beating up people. They are throwing stones at cinema halls and they are threatening to do all kinds of things. But the point is not just these unfortunate hooligans who are holding the film industry and Bombay to ransom, but far more responsible people. Look at the association of exhibitors. Look at them. What is wrong with them? And forget them. Look at the kind of jingoism that is happening across a lot of television channels today. My God, you would think we were in the middle of a war. With a kind of patriotic...
Amir Raza Hussain, I can't speak for the other channels and I don't care for what they're doing. This is about
present company
our
accepted.
notion of...
I'm not talking about your channel. Patriotism. This has become so narrow. This concept of nationalism has narrowed down so much. Let me tell you a small incident. In the time of Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, we had the Kargil War. Kargil War started sometime in May and went on till July. We called it the 50-day war, and we had a lot of extensive research done on that. Now, would you believe it that in the first week of June, whether it was 6th or 7th, I don't recall the exact date, we were playing Pakistan in the final of the World Cup in London. We were playing a cricket match which we won, incidentally, and we had a lot of our Indian officers get chatter of Pakistani soldiers talking to each other saying, "Ye cricket match to har gaye ho, ab isko mat har jana."
No, but that's a good point. Rajendra Shirodkar, you must respond to this. Trade, you know, the truck from Pakistan crossed over Uri. One second, hear my question, sir. Trade between India and Pakistan is continuing. The Ministry of Home Affairs says we will continue to give visas to Pakistani actors. The censor board says films with Pakistani actors will get certificates. The government is behaving responsibly. They're not acting in a knee-jerk fashion, and yet fringe outfits like yourself with one MLA. If yours was the popular view, you would have been running the government in Maharashtra. How many seats did you get? What was your total vote percentage? Amir Raza Hussain says this is a desperate publicity stunt by a failed party.
if somebody, other political party or some other organization has failed to take action, that doesn't mean that we become gundais. And so far as our vote percentage, and you be rest assured that next elections will have a different picture. Now, so far as the decision which the central government has to take place, I am confident from the tenure of Mr. Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister, every now and then the efforts have been made to cut off or to isolate Pakistan in all possible ways that we have been watching on media and on channels too. So therefore, it is a definite step by the Indian government to cut off ties with Pakistan.
Second, how have you cut off ties with Pakistan? No, 1 second, Mr. Hussain. Amir Raza Hussain, 1 second. We haven't cut off water of the Indus Water Treaty. 1 second, sir. We haven't taken back their most favored nation status. We've made some noises. We haven't done anything on the ground. The only tamasha that's happening is what the MNS is doing, where these Pakistani actors are being sent back to their country and Bollywood actors and directors are being browbeaten by gundas. That's the only kind of gundagardi we've done, and that's being led by you.
No, if the Pakistani soldiers and if the Pakistani people and the Pakistani government kill our innocent people, what do you call it? Is it not a gundagardi? Or then how do you describe us as gundas? And so far as the decision of the government, we have been seeing it. It takes a time. It's a time-consuming process. It doesn't happen overnight, Mr. Khanna. So the efforts are there. The government is taking a positive step in those directions, and soon we will see that the Pakistan will be isolated. Most of the countries are boycotted in SAARC. Countries are boycotted. So there is a concrete effort and concentrated effort on the part of the Indian government as well as the governments of other countries to isolate Pakistan because of their attitude of indulging into terrorism. And if terrorism is not Gundaism,
Amir Raza said, how do you
other
respond to what the MNS says is national mood? How does somebody judge what national mood is? The best way to judge national mood, in my view, would be for an MNS or any other party to say, do not watch Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. If people don't want to watch Ae Dil Hai Mushkil, that's their wish. Let them not watch Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. If they wish to go out and watch the film, that's their wish. Let it happen in a voluntary fashion, without gundagardi, without fascism.
Absolutely. The other thing is that, we have a rightist government, a very clear right-wing government in the center with a huge majority. It's not a leftist, it's not left of center, it's not a liberal government. It's a very clear government. And yet, if that government is still letting trucks roll across both the borders and trains go across the third border, 20,000 crores of business is being done, and the government is not making any effort to stop it. In fact, there has been nobody in the government has said anything about stopping business. Government is not doing it. How are people assuming that this is the mood, this is the mood? There is a parliament to decide the mood, there is a cabinet to decide
the government hasn't stopped trains, buses, people, visas, any of that.
No, it is, as I have said before, it is not an overnight process. Though the government is moving in that direction, they have taken
then why
steps
are you
to
making
see
it
that
an
all these
overnight
things happen,
process?
and slowly but surely, we are part of the government, we are part of the Indian country, and whatever best we feel we should do to stop this Pakistan terrorism, we are doing. And I am very confident. I am very confident from the
by bullying.
Of the people.
One second. Just listen to the absurdity of what you're saying, Mr. Shirodkar. Listen to the absurdity of what you're saying. By bullying Fawad Khan and Karan Johar, how are you stopping Pakistani terrorism? Explain that to me. That's what you just said.
The reason behind it is that if these people are stopped, tomorrow they go back to their country and make a representation to the government to see that this terrorism is
Has anybody made that representation? One second. Are you living in cuckoo land? Which world do you inhabit? Has anybody made that kind of a representation to the Pakistani government? Is this not an opportunity for India to rise as a nation, to show we are not Pakistan, target the terrorists, smoke out Hafiz Saeed, kill Dawood Ibrahim? That's all right. How does it serve our national interest to target artists?
By doing No, Pakistan, in my opinion, the Pakistan should be targeted and cornered from all angles, and this is one of the moves on the part of my party to see that the Pakistani artists are not allowed to perform in India.
Okay,
And I'm sure
final
the
words,
entire
Amir
people
Raza
of the nation
Hussain.
and
How do we
public in
deal with
Mumbai
this? Because we've
particularly-
already seen, what Shyam Benegal said was very interesting. Why does somebody like a Karan Johar need to go out and prove his patriotism? He's saluting twice in that brief video message he put out, having to insist how patriotic it is, how he is. How and why does anybody need to tell the other who's out to bully him how patriotic he is? Each person defines his own patriotism. Patriotism cannot be defined narrowly.
You see, unfortunately, most artists are of a liberal viewpoint, and liberals live in an unprotected environment. They want freedom of expression because they want to say what they want to without being bullied. The point is that they don't have people to come and throw stones at a house. They don't have people to defend themselves. All they have is a belief that their country should rise above parochialism.
Absolutely.
Should have
All
a
that
wide
people like Raj Thackeray should
idea
remember
of nationalism.
is that when the Maharashtra elections happened, and Mr. Shirodkar, I want you to take this to heart, you won less than 1% of the popular vote in the state. That should show you your level of popularity. That should show you your level of support. This is a desperate publicity stunt, and this is not something that people should be backing. People need to rise in unison. Let there be an open choice. If you wish to watch the film, watch it. If you don't wish to watch the film, don't. But nobody should be foisting their view on what's right, what's not on others. Mr. Shirodkar, Amir Raza Hussain, for joining me on the India Today newsroom tonight.